Hi folks, and welcome to Reread, where I am rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, something no one should ever do unless I guess you've read it all before. Today I'm going to talk about John Jackson Miller's Knights of the Old Republic comic book series, issues 0 through 6. I just reread them again. Issue 0 basically introduces people like Squint and Griff and Zane and a few other people. Just sets up things of what's to come. I'm not sure if it's the best representation. It's kind of like a preview of what Knights of the Republic will feature or who it will feature. But to me, it didn't feel like it captured the, even though it was written by John Jackson Miller, it didn't feel like it captured what the essence of the comic book series was. Meaning this is a very fun, it's almost like a buddy comedy action romp. It's kind of weird to explain this comic book series, rereading it again. And I knew I enjoyed it for a reason, but I mean, it starts off great. But issue 0 basically just kind of sets up things. It's not bad. It's not bad. And by the way, I think it only costs like 25 cents. So, you know, what are you expecting there? But it just doesn't, if you just read that and just were, you know, thinking about, this is what Dark Horse is doing, they give it away for 25 cents to see if you were interested in. But issue 0, to me, wouldn't necessarily say, ooh, that hooked me in. I'm a Star Wars fan. I was buying it anyway. But it doesn't really feel like the rest of the series, if that makes any sense. But issues 1 through 6 is great. Of course, Zane Carrick is everyone's favorite Jedi screw-up. He's a Padawan screw-up. He can't do anything right. He's always kind of bumbling and fumbling his way through things. Griff is someone who he's been trying to capture. They established that in issue 0, but issue 1, he's on the case to get Griff again. Every time you think he has the upper hand, Griff outsmarts him because, you know, he's kind of a screw-up. And the story takes place right before he and all his Padawan friends are about to get knighted as becoming Jedi Knights to fight in the Jedi Mandalorian Wars, which are going on right now. But Zane shows up late. Instead of everyone being knighted, everyone is slaughtered by their masters. He's like, what is going on here? He hightails it out of there because they try to kill him. He makes it out through, you know, some goofy chance. He escapes all those Jedi Masters, and he is framed for their murders. And he's trying to convince other Jedi Masters that it's not him, but they don't believe him because Zane, everyone knew that he wasn't that good in the Force and that he was probably going to fail knighthood anyway. And so people, supposedly, in this story, Padawans before who didn't have enough power turned to the dark side to kind of even the playing field, and that's what all his master says, that he's turned to the dark side, and that's how he could out trick us or get he could escape capture. So a lot of the other Jedi Masters believe that without even listening to Zane's side, and I get that. This makes sense, right? So especially if it's happened before in their Jedi Order. In fact, the Jedi Master says that to Zane too. But anyway, Zane goes off with Griff because he has no other friends. Jariel, I don't really know how to pronounce her name, and Camper, who is kind of like the crazy guy who is great with machines. They go back. He kind of retraces his steps to figure out what happened. He goes back to their last test as Padawans before they were gonna, on the path to get knighted, and he finds that he remembers there's a droid that was hanging out with the masters before he accidentally fell off the cliff. Well, they find the droid, put its memory back together, and get it to show what it saw. And what it sees is all these masters are seers, except for his master, Lucian Gray. And Lucian's there to have them, I mean, sure, it's a test for the Padawans, but really it's a area of peace and control in the Force where they can really reach out and get a glimpse of the future. So all these seers sit down and they see their death at the hands of someone who is wearing an exact same environmental suit as the Padawans are right now. So they assume that one of the Padawans is going to turn into this evil Sith Lord. So they want to stop that because no one wants another Exar Kun. So they say, okay, well, we don't know which one it was, let's slaughter them all. But that's a little excessive. Now, later on, they're going to explain why they are so excessive on this and why that's not really, you're thinking, it could be anyone in that environmental suit, maybe even not the Padawans. But again, they do explain why they're a little bit more paranoid about this person than you think they would be, especially in those first 6 issues. And so they decided to kill them all off. They're sad about it, but they can't. It's the whole, baby Hitler thing. If Hitler was a baby, you kill him off to avoid, because he grew up to be evil. So we got to kill off all these Padawans, because one of them is going to grow into the dark side and really cause, havoc in the galaxy. Zane finds this out, but comically enough, the droid, that's too traumatic a memory for the droid, thinking that he couldn't commit suicide because that's against his programming. He doesn't realize that Lucian Gray force pushed him off the cliff to destroy his recording. So he basically just deletes the memory. Now Zane doesn't have any proof that he's innocent either. Now this leads into, of course, a 50-issue series, right? We don't get to tell the story if Zane gets off easily like that. If you wanted to make it a 6-part series, then that's what you do. But even then, the whole while, Lucian and the Jedi Masters are trying to catch Zane, and trying to explain to the Jedi Council what exactly happened with the other Padawans. But in the end, Zane does get away one final time from him and sends him a holographic warning saying, "Hey, look, I don't think you think I'm grow up to be this evil guy." And I don't think so, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm hunting you guys down. And one of you, the only one who lives, will be the one who is confessing to my innocence. Now, I know how this ends, but when you read something like that, as a reader, I wondered if Zane was going to turn evil, if this was his storyline. Like when I read that, I remember thinking, is he going to be the evil one? Is he going to be the Sith Lord? Is he really the prophecy? Yes, this bumbling goofball Padawan that can't achieve anything. But that warning at the end, and he even says, "You may have created me. This may have been created me." And I was thinking, is this going to get dark soon? Because it starts off really, there's a lot of comedy here, and usually comedy in Jedi I don't really like, because Star Wars Tales attempted that in their spoof stories, and I hated it. But with Zane, it makes sense. He's just a screw-up Padawan. I mean, there are some hilarious parts where he's falling through the sky in Coruscant, kind of destroying the image of the Jedi and how great they are at stopping crime in the city. It's just great. There's so many good comedic moments. And then he and Griff just, some of Griff's dialogue too is hilarious. Griff tells Zane in one issue that, the Wookiee told him to get off here. This is their spot. He went, "This is not our spot." He went, "Yeah, I don't speak Wookiee." And it just sounded like he said that. And it was just, there's so many. And Griff's happy because now he's a wanted guy. This is going to do great for his street cred, because he's wanted now, And it's just, there's a lot of good aspects and good characters. Jeriel, I don't know how you say her name, but she's awesome. I don't think I talked about her at all, maybe, when I first reviewed it. And I can't believe maybe I didn't mention her, but she and Camper are great, great for an ensemble cast, as is the droid, Imbly, I think is his name. And together, they make a great pack. Now, this is not all of them. They're going to be joined by a few other people later on. But so far, man, you read those first 6 issues, can you put it down? Can you just say, "Okay, I'm done, let me read something else"? I don't think so. I think you'd want to read it all. This is really, I need to read through the whole thing again, but I may be elevating my status as what my favorite comic book series is, because already this has just been a fun romp. But I'll get to those other issues in another episode. See you later.